All right, guys, this is a review on a surfboard I've been really excited about. This is the Aipa Supernova, made by Noel Salas and Duke Aipa. Now, they kind of claim this board to be the first of its kind, meaning that it's a true high-performance groveler, unlike something like a hybrid, like I have my Firewire Seaside. Firewire Seaside's great. That's amazing. I love that board. It's hard to get off of it, but it doesn't really want to turn top to bottom when you really ask it to. So that's why I was really excited to try this board out. I'm not going to go too into the nuances of the construction and shape because they do a lot of videos on that, but you can see this little wing right here. And the tail's really thinned out here. And if you notice, the first thing I noticed when I took this board out is the rocker. I mean, this thing, it's flatter than Taylor Swift's chest. Look at this. I mean, there's barely a curve in the board. So when I first got it, I was like, how am I going to be able to turn this thing? Is it too straight? And we'll go into the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's go ahead and go with the good. Now, when I was waiting for this board, I really built it up in my mind how fast it would be. And I got to say, the first bottom turn I did, it lived up to the hype. 100%. The speed I got was redonkulous. I mean, I did a bottom turn on like a chest high wave and the freaking wind was in my face. And I flew down the line, did a turn that kind of like slid out a little bit, but like in a good way. And it was like an amazing feeling. And I totally understand kind of what it wants to do. So the speed, once it gets going, it flies. And that's a combination of the many things. Less drag right here from the small fin, the almost non-existent rocker, and the construction, which is kind of, it's been great too. It's springs through the wave. So that's the good. The bad, no board is perfect. This is a 6'1". I'm 6'3". And so I ordered the XL. This is the Supernova XL. So it's got 40 liters and it's 6'1". I'm 6'3". Now this causes a little bit of an issue for me on this board because the rocker is so flat here that you really, if you weigh a lot and you're a bigger guy like me, you really have to be really far back on this board when you're paddling, because if you're even a little forward here, the lack of rocker, it kind of digs a little bit to the water. So that took me for surprise. I mean, it was rated as a really high paddler, and it didn't quite live up to that. It's not a deal breaker, and I did anticipate it to paddle like a Seaside, but I either have to have my knees hanging off here, or I have to arch my back and be really flexible. And that's probably not an issue if you don't weigh as much as I do, you're not as tall as I am. And it's probably a sizing issue on my part, but it's something to consider. I think it's really the only trade-off with this shape is the paddleability. It still paddles good. It's just didn't quite live up to that height. That being said, do I prefer it to my Seaside when I'm surfing gutless waves? Absolutely. If you stay high on the wave, this thing will extract every little bit of speed and you'll be flying. So I can definitely recommend it as an East Coast board, but I don't think it catches like super small waves. You still need a little bit of juice. If it's like knee to waist, I can get away on my Seaside. But that's just East Coast for you. So would I recommend it? Absolutely. It lived up to the hype. There's hardly any cons as compared to the pros. Construction's been great. It's durable. This fin setup is awesome. This 2+1. And it's really thinned out on the tail here. You can see it. So go pick yourself out one of these. This is like an ideal board for an intermediate, kind of wanting to go a little bit more vertical in the wave, progress a little bit more than a hybrid, because the hybrids are great, but I don't think they really allow you to surf top to bottom as much as you'd like. So go pick one up. Aipa Supernova. It's pretty freaking sick. Peace out.